I was reading a particular scripture this morning and something caught my attention. I was wondering, have you thought of the reason why people fear God? Why do we fear God? So I read Deuteronomy 5, verse 23 downwards, or 23 down to 27 actually caught my attention. I realized something there. So every one of us knows the story of Moses and the people of Israelites. So in the scripture, okay, if I'm to read from the Bible, it says, when the whole mountain was on fire and you heard a voice from darkness, your leaders and the chiefs of your tribes came to me. 24 says, and said, the Lord our God showed us his greatness and his glory when we heard him speak from the fire. Today we have seen that it is possible for a human being to continue to live even though God has spoken to him. But why should we risk death again? The terrible fire will destroy us. We are sure to die if we hear the Lord our God speak again. Has any human being ever lived after hearing the living God speak from a fire? 27. Go back, Moses, and listen to everything the Lord our God says. Then return and tell us what he said to you. We will listen and obey. Okay, this particular verse, this particular section actually caught my attention. In this, if I'm to explain what actually happened here, the people of Israelites, like they were on a mountain when the mountain caught fire. So, and they heard a voice, and that's what the voice of God speaking to them, trying to speak to them actually. But they were so afraid to stand and watch and listen. And they realized something. They realized something first. They were like, wow. So we can actually hear from God and not die. They have this fear that anybody that hears from God or listens to God or stand and listen to God, like they will die. But you know what they did? They ran to Moses and told Moses what happened and confessed. They confessed with their mouths, oh my God. So we can actually hear from God and we still stand strong, like and not die, and we don't lose our life. That was their confession. But they were so scared, they were so afraid to stand and listen to what God said. Why? Because that fire alone is God's holiness. The holiness of God exposes what our weakness, our dents, those impurities we carry as humans. But God gave us the grace and mercy to be able to stand and listen to Him. But no, they were so shocked. They were like, no, we cannot do. So do you know what they did? They ran to Moses. What's the role of Moses? They actually understood that God actually gave Moses the mantle of leadership to stand in places they cannot stand. So that place made me realize there are people out there, a lot of us out there, that God has given that grace to stand in gap for others. Okay, if I'm to look deep into spiritual meaning of this, I understand that that fire exposes our weaknesses, exposes our dents. God understood that we are not pure. We cannot be as God. We cannot be as clean as God. That was why God gave all of us the mercy and grace to be able to stand in His presence and listen to Him. But they were so afraid to stand. See, why is that? Why is the fear? Why the fear? When God has given us that grace, why the fear? When God has showed us mercy to be able to stand and listen to Him, to be able to stand and hear from Him. You should not fear. See, the more you get closer to God, the more you draw nearer to Him. He exposes what? Our weak areas. He exposes those places that the enemies can pull us down. You see, the devil gets us, fights us through those open doors. And what are those open doors? Your weaknesses. That's the only power the devil has over you. So the moment you're able to find out your weak areas, your weaknesses, the devil loses his hold on you. And how can you do that? When you have that encounter with Christ. How will you have an encounter with Christ? Get closer to Him. Draw closer to Him. That's fire, His holiness. He will show you those weaknesses, those weak areas. And He will also tell you on how to handle them. So today, I learned that I can fight my weaknesses. I can fight my fears when I decide to draw closer to God, when I go nearer to Him. It will help me fight those weak areas. So I want every one of us, not just me, to decide today I will overcome my fears. I will get to know this man. I'll get closer to him. And he will help all of us fight those battles, fight these temptations, fight these trials. Because it's not actually easy. Yes, it's not actually easy. Those who tell you, oh, you follow God and this, it's not actually easy from the beginning. Yes. So I pray the good Lord who gave us His words will also help us in this journey. Thank you.